We're back, and we're here for a fun episode. We always say fun and fresh episode. What else could we fucking say?
Audio Jungle.
Hey everyone! Hello everybody! Welcome back to Experts About Nothing.
We're back this week, and we're here with a different topic, one that we're super excited to discuss. I feel like we haven't really gotten into some of the lifestyle stuff that we wanted to in the past, and this week is something me and Priya have both gone through the ringer with, which is skincare. So today we kind of wanted to share with you guys our skincare routines, some of our struggles with skincare, and how it relates to our everyday confidence.
That's right. Skincare has been an interesting journey. I think it is for most people, unless you're blessed with perfect skin.
Which we know a few people
We
that
know
are
a couple
very
culprits
blessed.
of very blessed, perfect skin. But I think for a majority of people, it's something you have to figure out, regardless of gender too. I think both boys and girls have to figure out what type of skin type they have, what type of products they need to use, routines. And it's kind of a long and iterative journey.
And it can be extremely frustrating.
It's super frustrating because it's your skin and it's your face.
Yeah.
And it's like the first thing that people see about you. And it can cause like serious pain if you're dealing with certain types of skin conditions. Like,
Oh, definitely.
It's physically and mentally exhausting sometimes to go through this process. But I think both of us have had our ups and downs. And I'll be honest, Deeksha's kind of like the skincare guru of our friend group. I think she is fully the skinfluencer, and I've changed my whole skincare routine, TBH, based off of products she recommends. So honestly, she's gonna give you guys some stellar tips.
Oh, well, that's a lot of pressure. And obviously, we are not skincare experts. These are just from our personal experiences. So take everything we say with a grain of salt. Obviously, It's not going to work for every single person. But these are some of the things that we've learned over the years that we've had skincare problems.
Okay, but before we get into all things skin, we need to update you guys on our super fun wedding weekend. I think we touched on this in the last episode. We had our first kickoff friend group wedding this past weekend. It was so much fun.
Shout out to Jay and Revathi. Congrats, you guys.
Still crying. Actually, I was crying at genuinely every single event.
Priya was silently sobbing every time you looked over at her. At any emotional part or even slightly sentimental part, the groom walks in, tears. The bride walks in, tears.
I don't know.
They're hugging their parents, tears. Everything was tears.
It was all tears. The thing is, I normally do cry at every single wedding. That's facts. But I think something about it being our friends, it made me so emotional. So yeah, I was crying at every event. But it was genuinely such a great time. And one of the highlights, or maybe lowlights, of the weekend was that we had to do a choreographed dance number.
A common occurrence in many Indian weddings, of course.
Yes,
you
a
guys
staple.
know.
And it's always my favorite part of the weddings when I see other people dance.
Yeah,
but when
I know.
I'm in the mix, it's a little scarier.
It's always so nerve-wracking when you have to perform and then suddenly they push you guys in the front and then you're like, oh no, can't look at anyone. Ugh.
Yeah, so our amazing friends Tejo and Avanti choreographed a 5.5-minute dance routine for us and a bunch of people who went to UVA, who were friends with Jay and Revathi, to do.
For context, Tejo and Avanti were both competitive dancers in college. So
they got skills.
You can imagine some of these routines have some difficult parts in them. And simply, it was a 5-song number. That made it a little bit stressful. And yeah, basically every day leading up to the wedding, me and Priya learned another song.
We did, and I'm actually very proud about how we approached this, because I initially was like, there's no way we're gonna roll up to this wedding, not know a single step, and be cramming it the night before. And we actually did it like a homework assignment. Every day we would do another song in my room, which was good. And thank God for that, because it actually, I think, did help us retain this choreography. But also, I just haven't danced in so long, and I think I can do, the normal flowy dance number when you're just busting it down randomly. But remembering and retaining choreography, that was always my weak point, even when I did dance consistently. So yeah, remembering all of that, especially in a group number where if you don't know something, you are going to stick out. like a sore thumb. And so that was the hardest part
me and Priya, when we were practicing, we were literally using the most random cues. Question mark, hand, heart.
We had code names because we were trying to remember the choreography.
And we were learning it not mirrored. So flipping the sides was the worst part.
It's the hardest thing.
Yeah, that was the worst part.
My brain cannot compute. When someone I'm watching is doing something on the left side and it means that it's my right side, I actually don't know what's going on.
I know. That's why we need like live teachers. But anyway, the performance was so fun. But in the future, highly recommend a maximum of a 2.5 minute dance for all your friends.
I think it was a highlight. It was not a
It was definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
Because it was so hilarious. We were having so much fun learning it and watching everyone else learn, and it was just a good time.
But that was a wrap on the weekend. Super fun.
Can't wait for the next one.
Can't wait. Okay, now on to skincare. Why'd you whisper that? Okay, now on to skincare.
Okay, so I thought we'd start off just by talking about our skin types, or like what we think our skin types are. So if those of you have similar skin types, maybe you can use some of our products, some of the things that we found that worked for us. And yeah, I can start off. Most of my life, had combination skin. I would say it was dry around my eye area, kind of drier on my forehead, but throughout the day, I would definitely accumulate a lot of oil. So I would say combination/oily.
I have never been able to figure out my true skin type. I think that means that I have normal skin, which does not mean you have good skin, which is a common misconception because I don't have good skin. But I never have felt super oily or super dry. I just have acne-prone skin, like normal acne-prone skin, I would say.
Okay. And yes, I definitely also have acne-prone skin, easily scarred, and generally sensitive skin. I guess we can kind of just dive into some of our skincare struggles, things that we've experienced in the past. I basically had acne since I went through puberty, and since then it was always a journey of like figuring out what would work best for me. So my older brother also had a bit of acne around that high school time, and he went on Differin, which was prescribed back then. But that's why my parents also were like, when I had acne, they were like, oh, you also go on Differin, it'll clear up for you too. Because it worked great for my brother, and by the time he went to college, he had no acne at all and like really nice skin. And so I kind of went down that same path, but it definitely didn't work for me as well as it did for my brother. I also was on clindamycin at one point. I used it here and there, but I also didn't find that like did a dramatic 180 on my skin. If anything, it was just maintaining it so that the level of acne was kind of consistent. It didn't get worse. It wasn't necessarily like helping it get completely better. Were you ever on prescription meds?
I was on Differin, clindamycin, and spirulinoactane. I pronounced that wrong, but that's a pill. I think I did the same thing. I was honestly taking cues from like my friends who were going through the same thing as me, and I know Ashi had a bunch of acne struggles as well in high school when like we both were starting to have the same skin struggles. So I went to the dermatologist. They gave me these prescription things, and I think, as you said, it would like kind of help, but nothing really eradicated the problem.
Dramatically fixed it.
Or even dramatically made a dent. Like, I think it would just like kind of somewhat spot treat certain things. And by the time I was going to college, I remember I still didn't really have a proper routine or like anything that was actually helping me. Like, I would just kind of like randomly try different things to see what could fix the problem. Yeah. But there was no method to the madness at all.
I genuinely feel like my skincare routine didn't really develop fully even post-grad. Like, my skincare routine developed over the pandemic just because we had so much time to figure it out and so much time to focus on keeping your skin healthy instead of putting makeup on it. So I would say that's also kind of when I figured out my skincare routine.
Yeah, same. I remember throughout college I tried a bunch of different things. Like what is it called? I bought a Clarisonic
Oh my God.
It was like the biggest thing. I like asked my parents, I was like, please let me get a Clarisonic. And my mom was against it because she was like, this does not look like it's going to help your skin.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I did
like
all
the
this.
cleanser Clarisonic?
That like brush.
That brush thing.
Thing. And I like bought that. I was trying to use that every day. I'm pretty sure it made my skin way worse. My mom was right. And yeah, like I was just trying a bunch of different things. And then post grad, actually, I think my skin got 10x worse. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but I remember when I was starting my job, first moved to New York, my skin was horrible. And I was having cystic acne every single day. It was worse than high school or college. And it was just the worst time, I felt like, for that to happen, because you're trying to like be an adult and present yourself to the world. And I'm like, I'm literally having teenage crazy acne, and it was so annoying. And during that period of time was when I tried a bunch of dietary changes as well. Like I tried to go vegan for a bunch of time and was cutting out all these random foods because you actually told me that helped you.
Yeah. So in college, I had basically in the beginning of college, I just came in with a normal amount of acne. Always had a few pimples here or there. It was never a full clear skin vibe. Always had acne scars lingering. And then basically halfway through college, things just really picked up in school, so I basically just ate whatever was easiest. I was consuming a lot of eggs in college just because high in protein, fast to make, they were always around. I didn't really have to think about it. And I was also consuming a decent amount of actual dairy milk, and I feel like that also may have caused something. So when I called one of my doctor aunties, she was like, have you tried cutting certain things out? She recommended eggs and also dairy. So she told me to basically go on a really neutral diet, less spice, less everything. And I did do that, but honestly, I couldn't go for too long on less spice and less flavor. So I just cut out eggs completely and dairy, and then I slowly started introducing them back, but in much smaller quantities. I would take out the egg yolk to prevent my body from building up heat, like that much heat all at once. I also switched to non-dairy milk throughout the week. So I think all of those things did help, but long term, I didn't want to make those dietary sacrifices all the time. So I knew I wanted to figure out the actual skincare part of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I was trying a bunch of different things post-grad and then ultimately kind of gave up on it because I didn't feel like it was significantly helping my skin. And the product that actually I think made a significant turning point for me was Curology.
Oh,
which I don't know.
I didn't know that.
I don't know. Like, I think there's mixed reviews on Curology, but I was persuaded. Like, at this point, I was just so desperate, and I wanted anything to work, and, like, I was completely sold by the Instagram ad. And I just immediately did that quiz or whatever. You send in pictures of your skin, like a doctor or dermatologist allegedly, like, gives you your own serum to put on. And I genuinely think that actually helped a lot. It controlled a lot of my acne, and I just kind of was sticking to it, but also after a while I feel like my skin got used to the product and it stopped being as effective. That's my theory. I remember for like 4 months or something I was like, great, I found the solution. I'm just gonna keep buying this thing and it's fine. And then around like the 6-month mark it stopped working for me as much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another thing that probably exacerbated my acne and probably extended its lifespan was definitely using physical exfoliants for honestly most of college. I was on that St. Ives apricot scrub. It ruined me.
It was so convincing at the time.
It was so convincing. I feel like at home, my mom would always be like, scrub really well and like whatever, like that was always the thing at home. And you would hear that so often and I'd be like, okay, great. And I think I just way over exfoliated, ditched the physical exfoliant. I think that was one of the best things my skin needed. I also felt like my skin was almost aging faster because I was exfoliating way too much. And also when you have active acne and you exfoliate physically, and I tend to have a rougher hand, so when I was exfoliating, I'd probably go way, way too deep and like scratch the actual surface of my skin and cause micro tears, which makes the bacteria spread all over your face, especially when you have active pus-filled acne. And that was definitely impacting my skin, and I didn't know it, and I would continuously do it because that's what made my fins. I keep saying fins. That's
Not
what
your
made
fins.
my that's what made my skin feel clean. So I kept doing it.
It's a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah.
When you use a physical, like, I don't recommend using a physical exfoliant because I did the same thing.
Not on your face, at least.
On your face, yeah. But when you use it just, you feel like you did something really good.
Yes.
And you're like, I did it, I killed all the acne. And in reality, you're probably spreading it all around your face. But yeah, I was using the harshest products. I remember I would use, like, literally, like, some crazy percentage of benzoyl peroxide.
Yeah.
And try to, like,
dry up everything.
It was so bad. And since my skin's kind of normal, it never really dried up my skin until I used it for like 7 days.
Oh, yeah.
And then on like this 8th day, I'd be like, whoa, my skin feels so tight, but I would never really recognize it on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But now thinking back at all the crazy products I bought, like the highest percentages of all these random things at the drugstore, taking that harsh of an approach, I think really hurt my skin. And as you said, probably started making my skin prematurely age in certain ways. And like, cause you're not hydrating at all. Like I remember I thought moisturizer was like the worst thing for my skin.
Yep.
Because like, I don't know, I feel like the media markets moisturizer are really bad for people with acne. So I was like, okay, I can't use any moisturizer.
Literally, I never used a moisturizer until I want to say a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Everyone needs to use moisturizer regardless of the skin type that you have because your skin needs water to look and feel its best. Otherwise, it's literally just going to dry itself out and get more irritated.
Yeah. I think the current landscape of skincare, you have so much accessible to you and you can get persuaded really easily by like social media and reviews and influencers. And so it's like really easy to just access all these crazy things, put it on your skin and try way too many things at once.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately we both realized that was the biggest culprit. We were just trying to like overload our skin with way too many products.
Yeah.
And again, like Deeksha mentioned earlier, I think only during the pandemic when we had unlimited time, and also I think skinfluencing really picked up in the pandemic.
Oh, it really did. The number of people, like I was actually in my room for days at a time. I would be like working on my laptop and also just had YouTube playing with all these skincare people just giving me all the recs all day long. I don't know. I was just being like unconsciously convinced to buy all these new things when my skin was fine.
Yeah. And I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, I bought way too many things and repeated the same cycle of trying too much at once. And then you were the one who was actually like, wait, we need to dial it back because you're just breaking out. And let's do step by step.
Me and Priya would be literally like sending pictures of our skin.
Yeah.
Because I also feel like in the pandemic, I started off the pandemic having great skin. Like, I was like, oh, great. And, like, I was using Biore, random products that are actually so bad for you, things that had fragrance in them, random things I got for free, all of that. I was also starting to run out of products, so I was like, okay, like, now I am allowed to, like, go find a different product. So one of the first things I did, I ran out of cleanser, which is truly the base of your skin health. Because I was watching a bunch of YouTubers and they were kind of just like all over ethnicities. Like I was just taking in all the content and I was like, you know what? Skin is skin. Everyone kind of needs similar stuff. And so then I heard a lot of good things about the CeraVe Renewing SA Salicylic Acid Cleanser. And I went and bought that and then also the daily moisturizing lotion for your face. I got those two products and these are like well-known, well-rated products, very famous drugstore products. And I really figured that there would be no problem with these because millions of people use them. It's totally fine. Works for a majority of people. Why not me? I got these products and I am like oblivious to the fact that they could be causing absolutely anything happening bad to my skin. And I was combining that with some of the other products that I had just started that were working completely fine. 4 months later, I just realized my skin was fully horrible again. It was like small pimples absolutely everywhere. My skin texture was completely awry. It was like painful. I was getting like bumps, like bumpy acne underneath my skin that wasn't ever coming to head. It was horrible. And then one day I just like did research on every single product I was using and I was like, what is the deal? And I just like stopped my cleanser for like a couple days and I immediately saw that my skin was not breaking out as rapidly as it was before. And I was like, oh my God, this is why. I felt so embarrassed and so annoyed after that because I was like, I spent a year basically in this pandemic destroying my skin. Little did I know it was this one product that was throwing me off. The thing is, it could have been both the lotion and the face wash, but because they have very similar ingredients. And something I learned over the pandemic actually that I found really useful was that if you're, say, getting all of your products from one brand, then likely all of those products have different quantities of the same ingredients. That is definitely what some of these monster brands do because they buy their ingredients in such large quantities, so they want to use them up before a certain time period. So like they throw all the ingredients into different products that they like market differently. So I was like, let me just dump both of these at the same time. And, you know, I'm sure they were great for some people, but it just really didn't work for me. There was one ingredient in it, I think it's called cetyl acid or cetyl 4. I'm not quite sure if I'm saying that 100% right, but I noticed that those two products specifically had those ingredients, and I was like, okay, stay away from these because the rest of my products didn't have those. So I highly recommend doing a full in-depth analysis of every single skincare product that you're using. If you are experiencing anything unusual, I would highly recommend doing that. Typically, other people, at least a few other people, will also experience the same things as you are.
I completely agree. I had a very similar experience, and Diksha did the research for me, where I was using the Crave Beauty Barrier Relief Serum. And this was like going viral. Everyone was using the serum, and they were
Priya almost convinced me to start it too.
I know, and thank God you did not get influenced by me because that was giving me the most horrific acne. And I was like, what? Like, I don't know what's going on. I was so sad. And then Diksha did deep dive research, and there was like a whole page of people who were like, this serum is breaking me out. And I was like, oh my God, I stopped it. Same thing. 2 days. It was, I mean, it would just like stop the rapid.
You can tell when your skin is like a little bit better than yesterday when you have it that bad. Any small improvement you can actually tell in your skin. But yeah, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think also what I realized when we started doing a lot more research on products is, like Diksha said, it's really important to, one, understand your skin type and find influencers who look like you. I never thought about that, and that made a really significant difference because obviously like mainstream people in skincare who are influencers are usually like white, and you watch all these videos and you think everything's gonna work for you the exact same way. But then when we started seeking out Indian skincare specialists, for example, Dr. V,
Dr. V, Skincare by Dr. V on YouTube.
Yes, she is so iconic, but she'll really break down like what would work for darker skin tones and what would not. There's just like a completely separate set of needs for people with like darker skin. Like the way that you scar is different, the amount of like sunscreen protection you need is different,
the amount of exfoliant / which type of exfoliants you need to use are different. At the beginning of the pandemic, I was using that Ordinary peel that like everyone was saying was amazing, and she was like, absolutely not, do not use that peel. And I was like, oh no, like I used it 5 times. But it's like also some of the things that they tell you not to use, you're not going to see an immediate impact just stopping them, but it's like a long-term impact. If you stop them now, it'll prevent your skin from aging and just a bunch of benefits that you're not going to know.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like that changed the game for me when I started just slowing down, really evaluating the people I was listening to and the products that I was going to use. And then I ended up finding like really staple products in my routine that once you start small and build on top of it, like just get a good cleanser, maybe a targeted product for the skincare concern you have, and a moisturizer. Like those 3 things. Oh my gosh. Not the laptop. But those 3 were like the biggest game changers for me, and I like started there, and then you can start building on it and be really mindful of how your skin reacts within like 2 or 3 days of using a new product, and do a big halt if you notice anything whack happening. I feel like it will only perpetuate the problem if you're just smearing stuff on your face that's really not good for you.
Yeah, definitely completely agree with that. I honestly think I've had the best results when I'm on the same products for at least a month. Mm-hmm. And then I can fully evaluate how much they work or how much they don't work, even if they just don't add, you know? If you add in a product, you don't really see your skin benefiting from it at all, might as well take it out.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
why you gotta use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm all about simplifying the skincare routine as well. Like, why have 15 products if you don't need them? Okay, so now we wanted to just talk about our morning and night skincare routines as of the current moment. They're tried and true. Okay, Priya's going to get her skincare.
I fetched the products, everyone.
Okay, so should we start with morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the morning, okay, I have two different skincare routines in the morning. Paula's Choice, I use the clear Paula's Choice anti-redness exfoliating solution, 2% salicylic acid. And this is the teal-ish color bottle. There's also a black color bottle, which is also amazing. And I use that first, but then I saw that they have one for acne-prone skin, so I just switched over to that one, and I like it just as much. But I recently stopped exfoliating every single day. I thought my skin needed it, but it really doesn't, because then I figured I was just over exfoliating. So then I reduced it to every other day. So on my exfoliation days, I cleanse my face with the Paula's Choice oil reducing cleanser. It's in like a green bottle. Love it. I've been using that for almost 2 years now, and it's been working really good for me. And then I hit it with a few drops of the Paula's Choice exfoliant. Big Paula's Choice girls.
Yes, big PC
generally.
girls over here.
Then after I do that, something that I realized was extremely important in my skincare is niacinamide, and I actually just neglected to use it for 2 weeks and quickly noticed that my acne was coming back in places that it hasn't come before, like on my chin, on my forehead. I realized it was because I stopped using my niacinamide. I put it back in and it was fine again, but I used the ordinary niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%. Love it. Also been using this for almost 3 years now. So I do a couple of drops of that after the exfoliant, and then I end it with the Paula's Choice water infusing electrolyte moisturizer. Just a little bit of this because, in the summer months, it's really hot outside. So I feel like the moisturizer, you don't need to slather it on. And then lastly, I use the Unseen Supergoop sunscreen. As we all know at this point, we need a sunscreen every day. So that's my morning routine for some days. Do you want to interject with your someday morning routine?
Yeah, I have an everyday morning routine.
Oh, you have an everyday?
I don't
okay.
rotate. I guess it's newly updated. I used to do what Diksha did and exfoliate in the mornings, but recently I've been noticing my skin doesn't need exfoliant that often. What I've been doing is I go in with the same cleanser, Paula's Choice, oil reducing teal bottle. It's iconic. It's great. I go in with that in the morning, and then I will do just moisturizer. So I've been using the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I used to use just the ordinary basic moisturizer, which was also really good. Honestly, great, affordable moisturizer.
For $8, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. But then I kind of got persuaded to switch into this one because I wanted something with a little more hydration. And I love this one. It feels very luxurious. And then I go in with the Supergoop Mineral Sheer Screen. I've been trying to stick to a mineral sunscreen because I heard that it helps with the hyperpigmentation. That's something that I really struggle with. Oh my
God, I didn't know there was hyperpigmentation benefits.
Yeah, it helps you scar less if you use mineral.
Why
I
did you
told you this.
That?
I literally told you this. I was like, we all brown girls need to wear mineral.
I'm so shocked.
And then that's why Lift Tinted also has the mineral sunscreen.
Oh my God, I didn't know.
I literally told you.
Hyperpigmentation.
I said I'm
benefits.
doing this for hyperpigmentation benefits, and you said I love the Unseen, and I said go off, do what you need to do.
Okay,
but
well I will be making a switch then.
The Unseen has a better finish. Definitely, I love the feeling of it, but like I'm a mineral girl, so I need to do that.
Maybe I'll soon become a mineral girl too.
You should do it. I think the lip tinted one's really good too, but I think it's a little lower in SPF, which is why I use the Supergoop one. But I am in the market for a serum, morning serum, and I will let you segue into your morning serum.
Oh, yeah. On the days I don't exfoliate, AM routine, I still use the same cleanser. I use this cleanser through and through, morning, night, every time I wash my face. Then recently I made a super exciting purchase. I have been eyeing the Wild morning and night serums for a while now, and I was just waiting to kind of be on the tail end of some of my existing products to get some new ones. But recently I splurged. I mean, honestly, it's not really too much of a splurge considering all the other products are pretty much in the I would say in the median price range for skincare. They're not drugstore except Ordinary, but these were, I think the combo price was like $69 for both of them, like maybe $72 or $74 with shipping. But the Sunrise Glow Serum from Wild is 15% vitamin C, has ashwagandha and turmeric. This is bomb. I've been using this for a week and a half now. I noticed my skin, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just in my head, or I'm actually feeling
you're glowing a little bit more.
Yeah. I feel like it's glowing a little bit more, and I'm liking it, and it feels extremely luxurious. The days I don't exfoliate, I wash my face, use the Wild Glow Serum, and then hit it with the moisturizer, and then same sunscreen. So super simple, but I really like it. A tip I learned in the pandemic was that you're not supposed to use vitamin C when you exfoliate. You should not combine those two things because they cancel out. So when I tried vitamin C last, I was using the exfoliant every day. I wasn't really seeing any benefit. I'm happy to say that now I'm seeing some of the benefits, but I really love it. You should get it. I'm going to get it.
As I do with literally all of these
You should try mine first.
Yeah, I'll try a squirt of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want a vitamin C. I want something in the mornings to like help the glow a little bit. So
amazing. Those were our morning routines and some of the reasons why we picked some of the products that we're using. And then we can jump into night routines then. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So I have an A-Day, B-Day routine for night.
Ooh.
I switch it up.
Okay.
So half the time I'll do the same cleanser, and then I go in with the Paula's Choice 2% BHA exfoliant. I use the gray bottle still. I don't know. I just never switched it up because it's been treating me well, so I just kind of stick to it. And then I go in with the same niacinamide, the Ordinary.
Niacinamide 10%,
zinc 1%. Yeah, the same one. It's great. And then same moisturizer, the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty, and that's about it. Seal the deal. And, I'm sorry. I missed a crucial step. After I do the niacinamide, I use the Paula's Choice Discoloration Repair Serum. And this, I think, actually does something because it really helps with my hyperpigmentation. And I usually concentrate it on, like, my acne scars. And I've noticed that, especially for the newer ones, the turnaround time for the scarring to go away is a bit better. So I use that half the time. The other half the time, I do the same thing where I cleanse, and then I will go in with the Paula's Choice 0.3% retinol, 2% bakuchiol treatment. So this is like what I use as my main retinol. So I usually use it 2 to 3 times a week. It's great. I like this one because it has like peptides and alleged vitamin C up in here. So I just feel like it's kind of doing some like hydration effects while doing the retinol. And it's a little calmer. I was using just the straight retinol from The Ordinary for a while, and I felt like it was kind of intense for me. So this is a good middle ground. And then I'll just end it with the same moisturizer.
Nice. So I've just been trying to do some product reduction. So I've just been trying to go through some of my existing stuff. So I've had the Paula's Choice Super Antioxidant Concentrate Serum with retinol, and I like the formula. I just don't like the consistency of it because half the time it falls on the floor. Like, I put it out of the bottle, and before I can even get on my face, it just slips to the ground.
Yeah.
And so I think that's my like main problem with this, but I'm almost done with this, and that's why I got the Wild morning and night serum. So at night, do the same Paula's Choice cleanser, and then I hit it now with the Wild Sunset Restore serum. And this has, how did you say this? Bakuchiol?
Bakuchiol. I think that's how, I'm pretty sure That's how I've heard influence.
Bakuchiol.
Maybe it's bakuchiol. I've been just calling it bakuchiol.
Whatever it is, it's 1% bakuchiol, tripeptide complex, and squalene. I just like it because it's a one-step situation. And then I followed up with some moisturizer. So I feel like it's super easy at night. So far, I've been liking it. And because I already use retinol in my routine, I don't think I have much of a purging period. So I'm noticing a pretty seamless transition. But if you are new to retinol or retinol-like things such as bakuchiol, then I would recommend easing into it, and you will have some purging. Probably less with the bakuchiol because it's more natural.
It's a little more chill. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what we're loving right now and what's been working for our skin. So let us know if you like any of our recs, if you use the same things, if you guys have other ones that you guys really love. But yeah, that's kind of what we do right now.
And I think an important thing to note is you could be curious about your skincare routine. I feel like at different phases of my life, I've needed different types of products. Like now, this is what's working for us. But I think you just got to be curious about how your skin's responding to stuff. And just because a product was like tried and true at one point doesn't mean like it will consistently serve you. So be careful while trying out new products. But I also think that you should question the products that you're using every day. And that's when you learn what to swap out, maybe what to add into your routine and like stuff like that.
Obviously, as you age, your skin needs change because your skin and your body changes over time. So naturally, like the stuff we want now, we want like a more of a glow, but maybe later we want more wrinkle reducing, tightening, those kind of things in our routine.
Yeah.
So I completely agree.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think in general, skincare and just the health of your skin or like how people feel about their skin, all of those things are very linked to how you feel about yourself a lot of the time. And I think it's a hard thing to break that connection, but it's also really important to realize that nobody has perfect skin. Online, it makes it seem like some people do, but 99% of the time people are struggling with the same things, and usually if they have perfect skin, it's because they have access to really expensive treatments and like weekly facials and like the best skincare specialist that, you know, comes with being at a certain status. Having acne, having scarring, eczema, whatever like skin problems you're going through, I think we should also have a level of compassion for ourselves and like our skin. It's not something to like pick apart, but just be curious about and keep wanting to improve, you know? Like the skin, isn't the skin the largest organ we have? Yeah, like it's a part of our body and we should be treating it healthily. Like I think those periods of time when we were just viciously trying to get rid of acne because it made us feel bad, like would we do that to any other organ in our body? No. It's because it's one that's physically facing, like it's something that people look at. So, you know, even the other side of skincare, like drinking a lot of water and making sure you're not eating too much crappy food because that's going to make you break out, like understanding your food sensitivities, like it all is linked together. And I'm trying to think of it more as a part of my body that I need to upkeep in health versus, oh, if I'm breaking out, I feel ugly, or like, you know, like if I'm having this skin problem, that makes me feel less than. That's just like not the healthy way to think about it, and it can really affect your confidence.
Yeah, I feel like skincare is such a holistic thing. It really is 50% what you put into your body, probably 75% what you put into your body, and 25% what you put onto your body. And there's only so much you can put on your skin to actually help it without confusing it and irritating it. So completely agree. Skincare is just one aspect of life, and sometimes I've definitely had periods where like that was the only thing I would think about all day because it was so bad, and like my hand would always be on my face, and like those things obviously also contribute to poorer skin. The less you pick at, the less you over-examine your skin, the less you fidget with your routine, honestly, the healthier it will be. And like focus on being healthy and like naturally eating more whole foods. Those things also contribute. Yeah, ultimately everyone's gonna have ups and downs with their skin. Like we said, it is a journey. It is not
it's not like a one and done situation.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite step of your skincare routine?
Okay, I hate washing my face.
I'll tell you
my least favorite step is washing my face.
It's so beat. I don't know. The water gets everywhere.
I love patting my face dry.
Ooh,
is
that's
that
your
weird
favorite step?
I love that initial wow, my skin is clean vibe, especially after you take your makeup off. And wait, I have to tell them my favorite product of them all. Okay,
yes,
my favorite product that I've influenced many people at this point to get has been the Pharmacy Green Tea Balm.
Yeah, like the cleansing balm.
Cleansing balm. Yes, Pharmacy Green Tea Cleansing Balm. It has changed my post-night out life. I never use the Neutrogena, the makeup wipes anymore because those are absolutely horrible. Everyone, I truly believe, should throw those out immediate because those have only ever caused me acne, especially with my sensitive skin. It does not serve me. And when I was at Sephora one day trying to take off really intense lip stain, the only thing that would take it off was this balm, and it was amazing. In 2 minutes, everything melts off. I'm talking like waterproof eyeliner, waterproof mascara. It all comes off so easily, and you don't have to pull out your skin. Really good on sensitive skin, and it doesn't clog your pores. On my laziest days, I just use that and go to sleep, and I never break out. Like from at least the makeup, which is amazing. So I highly recommend that. But yeah, patting my face dry is my favorite step.
I agree. I like that step. My favorite step is moisturizing.
It is.
It is so lit. Like, it's just the end of your routine, and it feels so, I don't know. I love feeling very hydrated. And, like,
Priya's always chugging water.
I'm always chugging water, and I'm always wanting to lather moisturizer, but I haven't. And maybe because of the period of time I deprived myself of moisturizer.
Oh, yeah.
It hits so much more different now. I'm like,
now you
wow.
appreciate it.
I love moisturizing my face. So that is my favorite step.
Has this been your favorite moisturizer the first date?
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite one I've used so far, but I think The Ordinary is, like, great. I feel like I'm, like, just splurging on it because I just like the feeling, but I don't think it's doing, like, a ton more than The Ordinary. It feels like it's actually repairing your skin barrier. I don't know. It's good.
Great. So that was such a fun episode. I feel like it was a little bit different than our normal episodes, but if you guys liked it, please let us know. Hit us with a like, hit us with a follow on our Instagram page at Experts About Nothing, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.